It's DB here. It's Charles Schwab week, and I'm talking head-to-head matchups. Looking at some lines, seeing what we think about them, if there's any value in betting some of them, first of all, and also what do they say about DraftKings and about DFS? Because sometimes I think, it can help us pivot off of certain chalky players, or maybe find a little diamond in the rough that the sports books and head-to-head bettors may value more than the DFS touts do. And that's what we're trying to do here. We're going to do this live. If anybody's in the chat and wants to participate, feel free to throw out a line, a matchup, a name, whatever you want to do. Toss it out there. We'll take a look at it. I'm going to start by looking at some of the more popular projected players so far, and it's only Tuesday at 3 o'clock. So we don't have a ton of ownership projections out at the moment, but just taking a look at some of the chalkier guys and what the lines are reflecting. I'll be using Data Golf to help uncover some of this stuff. Let's start off with Chalk Boy, Golden Boy himself. Jordan Spieth is currently projected to be around 20%, which is almost double what he is on the first line that I see here for Mr. Where is he? Where is he? Mr. Scotty Scheffler. Yeah, Scotty only projected around 10% right now. Jordan at around 20. Maybe it's the miscut at Southern Hills that are throwing people off, or maybe it's the ridiculous course history that Jordan Spieth has here at Colonial, making 9 of 9 cuts and having top 15s in 8 of those. He is currently, though, a dog to Scotty Scheffler on BetMGM. He's a 105 to 118 dog to Scheffler on DraftKings. He is a toss up to Colin Morikawa. On FanDuel, he's a major favorite over Victor Hovland and major favorite over Sam Burns, as he should be. Um, and he is a dog to Justin Thomas. So that's kind of interesting. Where's JT's projection? JT's projected around 12%. Jordan at around 20. I think right off the bat, like, those are interesting. Now, you give me Jordan Spieth at plus money, plus 120, even against Justin Thomas. If there's ever a tournament, maybe to take that bet on the Jordan side, it may be here at Colonial, given his record here. Obviously, Justin Thomas playing tremendous this past week, and he's played here twice with a 10th place finish in 2020 in the first event off of COVID, and a 40th place finish just last year. Aussie DB's in the chat. What up? How you doing, mate? Good to see you, mate. How's the future? You over there eating dinner, mate? Crazy Marcus is in here. What's going on? So anyway, that's interesting. Highest owned projected player right now, and he's a dog to two guys, nearly half his ownership, and a coin toss to Colin Morikawa, who comes in just under him, around 17%. Very interessante at with old Jordan. 5 a.m. Good God, that's right. 5 a.m. in Australia, in Oz. Why do they call it Oz? I don't know. Why do they call it Oz? All right, next guy on the list. I'm looking at Fantasy National ownerships, calculated ownerships for now, and Brian Harmon is your next guy at around 18%. I like Harmon this week. Georgia boy, a course that really suits his game. But do we want 18% Brian Harmon? I don't know. He is coin toss against Billy Horschel. He is a coin toss against Kevin Na. That's interesting. He is a coin toss against Chris Kirk and a coin toss against Chris Kirk. So Brian Harmon not favored in any of his matchups so far released between Billy Horschel, Kevin Na, and Chris Kirk. Now, Kevin Na's projected right there with him around 17%, Chris Kirk around 14%. Not many people want to play Billy Ho. He's projected around 10%, I guess, due to the really crappy play at Southern Hills. Um, what about their let's see, their price. I mean, Brian Harmon's 7,800. Kevin Na, you got to spend up $300 more. Chris Kirk's at 7,900 right there in that price range. Billy Ho 8,500. But it'll be interesting. I feel like those lines may get bet. Like, I think that number I think Brian Harmon ends up a favorite on probably the Billy Ho line. I don't know about the I don't know about the Chris Kirk and Kevin Na line. Like, I like Na and Kirk both this week. Kirk with a top 5 finish at the PGA. This place is built for Kevin Na. He's a former winner here, loves it. Um, so I don't know if that one's telling us much. Colin Morikawa is projected at 17%. Let's see where the lines are on Morikawa. I already mentioned the coin toss against Jordan Spieth. He is a slight favorite, 118 to -105 on Victor Hovland. He is a pretty heavy favorite against Sam Burns, -144 to +112. He's a dog, big dog, actually, to Scotty Scheffler. The book's still loving world number one, even despite the miscut, apparently, in some of these matchups. He's a -142 favorite over Morikawa at +112. And a very similar line on another book for Morikawa for sure. Jamie in the chat says this course seems to force player profiles into an RBC heritage look. I would agree with you. Tight fairways got to be in them, hitting into tight greens, and then it's about making putts. You're not gonna have a lot of three putts on these greens. They're not that large. Big difference maybe being Bermuda greens at Harbor Town versus bent grass. He says, could Maverick be an under the radar pick? Top Gun goes out Friday. Ooh, I like that. I like the old Top Gun reference. Um, yeah, I like that. That's good. What the hell happened to my? There it is. You know what? Let me look at Mav. I think Mav's irons have started to fall off just a touch, and that doesn't make me happy. But you're right; he definitely suits the course fit. Two tournaments in a row, the Byron Nelson and the PGA, he's not gained strokes ball striking off the tee and approach combined. Got worse at the PGA despite making the cut. I think he probably finished close to dead last. So I don't love that. But this should be a place that Mav plays well. Top 20, let's see, 26th and 27th, 26th at Harbor Town, 27th the Sony at Waialae. Another course where you kind of have to hit fairways. It's not necessarily a long hitters course. Um, Fourth at the RBC Heritage last year for him. Second at Pebble Beach, another course where you don't have to hit it super long. So I mean, and Mav's long. Like it's not that he's not. It's not that he's not long. He for sure is. The irons do concern me somewhat, though. I will say that. All right, we got another question here. I like this. What's up, Junkies? Thoughts on Hoge with miscut at Heritage, a good comp course, and bad history here? Well, I will say this. I think when it comes to Tom Hoge, we may have to just we may have to just understand that Tom Hoge may be a different player than he has been in years past. But statistically, over the last 24 rounds, Hoagie's 13th in approach, fourth in opportunities gained. Uh, Last 50 rounds, a little bit larger sample size. He's eighth in strokes gained, par four scoring, 34th in fairways gained. He had a good round at the PGA. Did well at the PGA. Finished ninth, gained 7.8 strokes on approach at the PGA. That is tremendous. And I don't mind that he missed the cut at Harbor Town. Like whatever. Don't really mind. He has never really played this place well, that is for sure. His first time out in 2016, he finished 17th, but he gained 5 strokes putting. Good for Guy. Um, but the ball striking here at the Charles Schwab has never been great. But let's take a look at what it looked like leading up to this event last year. All right, so leading up to this event last year, yeah, it wasn't that great. He was coming off a 64th at the PGA and 3 missed cuts. Um, the year before in 2020, he played the Charles Schwab, but it was the first event back from COVID. It was a very strong field. I kind of tossed 2020 out just a little bit. In 2019, when he finished 40th, also terrible ball striking form. I just think if you look at his ball striking now in 2022, compared to all those other years, if you're looking on Fantasy National, you're seeing a lot of green, which is good. A lot of green in the ball striking department. I think Hoge is for sure in play despite the poor comp course record. And he's one of these guys I was about to get to in terms of ownership. He's projected around 15% in the top 6 on Fantasy National. Let's take a look see some of his head-to-head matchups. Hoge. So he's a favorite, pretty good favorite over Davis Riley. He is a dog to Harold Varner, 118 to 108. He's a big favorite over Patrick Reed, -142 to 112, plus 112. That's a really big spread there on those two. He's a dog to Justin Rose, +105 to -130. So dog to Rose and Varner, favorite over Riley and Reed. Um, hmm. I don't know that I would want to bet any of these necessarily. I kind of like I mean, Rose has a good record here too, but the plus 105 number against Jay Rose, I kind of like. I think that's nice. I would take that plus 105. I'm bullish on Patrick Reed too, and kind of making his comeback. So I don't know that I would bet against Patrick right now, just because I'm feeling it. So let's keep working down the board here. So I went over Morikawa. Hovland is the next one around, also around 17%. Let's see what Hovland's doing. And then I'll get to some more questions here in a second if you want to drop those in the chat. Hovland's a big dog to Jordan Spieth. I already mentioned that one. Heavy favorite over Gary Woodland. Not sure why those are even options, honestly. Um, Favorite minus 120 over Will Zalatoris at plus 100. That's an interesting line. Slight dog to Morikawa, minus 118 to minus 105. And he is a decent favorite, minus 125 to minus 106 against Max Homa. I would probably bet that Zalatoris line. Listen, I'm a sucker for you give me a stud at a plus number and I'll bet it. Zalatoris at plus 100 over Hovland at minus 120 is attractive. So they've got him as a dog to Zalatoris and dog to Spieth, dog to Morikawa. Huh. Let's see. And what's his Hovland's up there in the tens, isn't he? Yeah, he's 10,000 even. He's projected, like I said, around 17%. Zalatoris, apparently nobody's wanting to play Zalatoris. He's at 10-1. I mean, like I said, he's a dog in the matchup, but he's projected at 9%. Hovland projected around 17%. Some leverage there with Willie Z, if you believe in that one. I like it. Kevin Na is a big name that we need to check out because, I mean, I like Na. I think he loves this place, obviously. Winner here. Na is a dog, minus 110 to minus 120 to Chris Kirk. Boy, the book really loving Chris Kirk. He's a coin flip on Harmon. I think I already talked about that one. He is, wow, pretty heavy favorite on DraftKings Sportsbook over Tony Finau. Minus 130 to plus 105. Kevin Na is a favorite over Finau. Wow. Oh, God. Oh, God. Sorry. I've never sneezed on camera before. Finau's projected around 13%. He's at 9,100. Dang. $8,100 save. So $1,000 savings on Kevin Na over Finau. And he's a big favorite over Finau on DraftKings. It'll be interesting to see if that line moves at all. I mean, and I think that's one reason why Na is popular. Another reason why he's popular outside of just his history here and his course fit. It is just, the fact that he feels so cheap. He does feel cheap at 8,100 for this course, to have this record of this course. All right. Let's keep working down here. I already looked at Hoge. Dang, Sebastian Munoz not flying under the radar like I hoped he would. He's at 14.7%. So Munoz, Kirk, Varner, those guys I all kind of thought would be. I feel like they're going to all eat a little bit of ownership off of each other, and nobody's going to get super chalky, but that's interesting. Let's look at Munoz. I like Munoz a lot here. Big favorite over Seabez. Dog to Harold Varner. Slight favorite over Mito. I saw a question in the chat on Mito. We'll talk about that in a second. So, yeah, that's it. So, heavy favorite over Seabez, slight favorite over Mito, and dog to Harold Varner is Sebastian Munoz in the head-to-head matchup so far. No real line movement coming in on that either. Projected at 15%, Varner at 14%, Mito at 10.6 on Fantasy National. All right, let's look at Varner. Apparently these books really love Varner because I've not seen too many where he's been a dog. So, like I said, favorite over Munoz, favorite over Hoge, favorite over Fleetwood. Wow. Wait a minute. How much is Tommy? Tommy's 8,800. Varner 7,800. Another $1,000 savings, yet a heavy favorite in the sports book. Harold Varner over Tommy Fleetwood, minus 120 to plus 100 on DraftKings. Wow. So every matchup I found for him, he's a favorite in. Munoz, Hoge, and Tommy Ladd. That's a shocking line to me. That doesn't feel good if you're a Tommy fan. We'll see how that line moves. And then Max Homa is the next one down at around 14%. Let's look at Homa. All right, I'll look at this one, then I'll answer another question maybe. Homa I've got as a favorite over Billy Horschel. Pretty substantial favorite, minus 120 over versus plus 100. He's a favorite. Ooh, this line flipped already. All right, here's a line on FanDuel. Sung J M opened minus 126 to plus 102 versus Homa. Now the line is essentially flipped. Homa is minus 118. Sung J is minus 108. Is it the COVID stuff with Sung J that he missed the PGA and all? I don't know. This is a course that for sure suits Sung Jae's game if he's on and he's feeling well. Maybe we'll find out from somebody on the ground about Sung Jae this week. Homa is a this is shocking to me. The books don't like Homa. He's a coin flip against Berger, even after finishing what, like 13th or something at the PGA, and Berger sucked, and he's just coming off a win. Like that's a pretty surprising line to me. Substantial dog to Victor Hovland, um, and that's it. Huh. So the Homa line, that's interesting. All right. Any other questions? Wow, Reed. Who? Why? What's this? Who's this? Corporal Kirschner. Is this Brian Kirschner? Why are we not just betting against Mito? They were pricing him head to head like he is totally ready to go after last week. Yeah, I mean, anytime a guy like that, um, a lot of these sportsbooks probably aren't even used to setting lines for a guy like that, uh, week to week, and then he gets some TV time and he shows the nation, that he's a ball striking guy. He's gonna get a little more. He's gonna get a little bump, and then the books are gonna juice it because everybody's possibly ready to go on him. Let's see. He's a coin flip against Abraham Answer. He is a slight dog, as I mentioned, to Sebastian Munoz on FanDuel. He is a plus 100 to minus 120 dog against Davis Riley. How much is Mito this week? Where is he? Mito projected around 11%. He's 8,600, so he gets a big price jump. And for $200 less on DraftKings, you get Davis Riley, who the sports books, or at least this particular sports book, which I said, what is it, DraftKings, seems to like Davis Riley a lot more. The thing with Mito is obviously like, how much did that take out of him? I mean, last year, Jordan Spieth at a press conference here talked about how major championships can take a lot out of you physically, mentally, emotionally, especially if you play all 4 days and especially if you contend. And so for him, he said it was nice to be able to come to a place like Colonial, a place he was really familiar with, a place where he felt like he could take Monday off and not feel like he had to go out and learn the golf course or play the golf course because he knows it so well and he's sleeping in his own bed. That's an advantage for a guy like Jordan Spieth. For a guy like Mito Pereira, he's never played a tournament here. I think he played college golf in Texas, so maybe he's played this golf course before, but he's never played in a tournament. It might not be. It might not be the smartest thing to bet with Mito in the head to head lines. I will say it's interesting though that he's only projected around what I say 10%. Where is he? I just had him. Mito, yeah, 10.6%. I don't know. We'll kind of see how the sentiment continues to evolve around Fido, continues to evolve around Mito for the rest of the next 24 hours or so. Who else we got? Let's look at Abe Answer. I always love looking at Abe Answer lines. God, the books have loved Abe all year. And if you've been betting against Abe, you've made a lot of money. He's a coin flip against Webb Simpson. He's a coin flip against Mito Pereira. And he is a slight dog to Daniel Berger. What is Daniel Berger? Daniel Berger's projected at 14%. Whoa. I can't believe that many people are talking up Berger after that week. I mean, I did say on the podcast that Berger's still intriguing to me. He missed the cut, but he I think he still gained strokes with his irons, right? He still hit the ball okay. No, he didn't. He sucked with his irons. He lost 3.1 strokes on approach, gained strokes off the tee, gained strokes around the green, lost 7.3 putting. Yikes. Obviously, from a course fit, Berger makes a lot of sense. We hit Berger here in 2020 right after COVID at 70-1 when he won. Followed that up with a 20th place finish last year at this place. I don't know. Berger might be a wait and see for me. If he's 14% in DFS, I think I'm out. I didn't think he'd be that. I thought he'd be like 4% in DFS. Maybe I'm out because I played him last week and that really screwed some of my lineups because there was a lot of 6 of 6s and I had a lot of 5 of 6s with Daniel Berger playing, sitting out the weekend. Let's look at Tommy Ladd. Tommy Ladd, Fleetwood. Me and Pat both liked him on the show last night. He's a dog to Tony Finau. Good Lord. He's a toss-up with Tony Finau in another book. He is a heavy favorite over Davis Riley, minus 164 to plus 126. Tommy's at 8,800. Riley, I think, is at 84. So $400 price difference there. And actually, I mean, according to Fantasy National, the ownership's not that much different. Riley coming in around 12, Fleetwood around 14. But the books have Fleetwood a minus 164 to plus 126 favorite over Riley. They got him as a big dog against Will Zalatoris, which I can understand that one, and a big dog again to Harold Varner. Boy, they're loving Harold Varner. And dog to Tony Finau in one line and coin flip on another for Tommy Ladd. Tommy Ladd has been cursed. Okay, well, I don't know. Like it is crazy how bad Tim Anderkurst can put some voodoo on a player. But all right, let's look at a couple more, and then I'll bounce. Fleetwood. Who's a name? Let's look at somebody who's really low ownership projections here. What about Ricky? What's Ricky? Is Ricky got any lines at all? FanDuel. He's got a oof. Ricky opened as a plus 108 dog to Maverick McNeely and has now been increased to a plus 130 dog against Maverick McNeely. He opened as a favorite against Patrick Reed and is now a coin flip against Patrick Reed. So apparently the head-to-head bettors betting against Ricky Fowler. So that's not good. Smotherman is probably Smotherman probably doesn't have any matchups out right now. And they usually don't make matchups for guys like that. All right, and Lucas Earbert. Let's see if he's got anything up there right now. Nope, no matchups for those guys either. Well, Lucas Earbert. Who else we got down here? What about Poston? I'm big on Poston. Do we have any matchups with him? I bet we don't. I feel like he's gonna have a great week. I'll hopefully hear from Fleener before the Wednesday night Nut Hut chat. But I haven't heard anything so far. Nope, no matchups for him either. Who are some other cheap guys? Joel Damon, maybe? Damon got anybody? Let's see. Damon. No there, and no there. Okay. Kisner. Let's look at Kisner. I'm not really buying Kisner this week. FanDuel, he is a slight favorite over Christian Bezadenhout. And that's it. Minus 118 to minus 108 favorite over Seabez. Whatever. That doesn't really give me much. Who else? Did I look at McNeely lines? I know we talked about him. I don't think I looked at all of them. Let's look. I think McNeely. I just went over the Fowler line with McNeely. He's also a minus 120 to minus 110 favorite over Patrick Reed. He's a minus 120 to plus 100 favorite over Ryan Palmer. So, books like McNeely, it seems. Cam Davis. You want me to check out Cam Davis? Let's see. I don't think he has any lines. A lot of Davis Riley lines. No Cam Davis. I see 0 Cam Davis. What about defending champ Jason Kokrak? Coin flip to Davis Riley. Coin flip to Taylor Gooch. Dog to Chris Kirk. Minus 142 to plus 112. Coin flip to Justin Rose. And then in another book, a dog to Taylor Gooch minus 125 to minus 106. So the book's not really showing a lot of love for the defending champ either. Which I don't really blame him for that right now. Anybody else? Anybody down here we think we could get a little leverage on that would have a line other than Kiz? Well, I guess they don't like Reed. I looked at a couple of those lines already. Yeah, this might be it. I wonder if there's any Doug Gim lines. Any Doug Gim? Give me the Gim Reaper, as Pat Mayo likes to say. Nope. No lines on Gim. All right, I think that's it for me. 25 minutes head-to-head matchup analysis. You guys have just been staring at my face, watching me click around. I wish I could find ways to make this video more interesting, but I can't. You either love it or you don't. It's not our most popular video, is what it is. Give it a like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, share on the video. Let's have a week. A lot of good TJ content dropping in the YouTube channel this week. Well, got a new video coming out too. 3 names to avoid, which is always a scary video for me to make because when you tell people to avoid them and they play well, they come back and they yell at you. When you tell people, "Hey, maybe play this guy, he's a sleeper," and they suck, you don't hear from anybody. But so I'm sticking my neck out there, 3 names to avoid, and I'm giving you reasons. That'll drop on YouTube here shortly if it's not already. Thanks for watching.